After an unpredictable day of action at Wimbledon yesterday, Day 8 reminded us that some things never change. Novak Djokovic will continue to prove all his ops wrong and use them to help him win, and Alexander Zverev will continue to squander big leads in matches and have self-imposed problems with women. Hey, my name is Christian Bassnight, and welcome to Christian's Court, where I cover tennis from all angles. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join Christian's crew so you're notified whenever I post daily Wimbledon updates, and also help me reach my goal of making 15,000 subscribers. We're close there, guys. I believe we can do it, so hit that sub button if you have not already. Now, after undergoing a meniscus surgery just over a month ago, Novak Djokovic is into his 15th Wimbledon quarterfinal and is currently the massive favorite to reach yet another final here at SW19. Djokovic played by far his best match of the tournament thus far to dominate 21-year-old Dane Holger Rune 6-3, 6-4, 6-2. I called for Rune to beat Djokovic in my tournament preview. Don't come for me, y'all. Don't come for me, y'all. But anyways, yes, I predicted Rune to beat Novak in my tournament preview, mainly because I wasn't sure of Djokovic's health and condition coming into this tournament. But of course, he proved us wrong that he is fine. And even before this match, though, I still thought that Rune had a solid shot at upsetting Novak, because Nole himself said that his knee was, quote, not okay, and then he did not look that great in his past two matches where he was pushed to 4 sets. But like Novak pretty much always does, he lifted his level whenever it came time to face a higher ranked opponent. Djokovic's main asset was how solid he was from the ground, and he just did not give Holger any free points. Holger often pressed way too much and sprayed errors at inopportune times, contributing to those 4 breaks of serve that decided the match. It was going to be tough for Rune to out-grind and out-rally Novak from the baseline, because for one, Novak is the best in the business from the ground, and then 2, he just had come off Rune that tough 2-sets-to-love comeback win the round prior. I applaud him, though, for trying new things and not being afraid of coming into the net whenever he sought openings, but he had very little success up there in the forecourt, winning 30% of points at the net. A lot of that, though, was due to just poor shot-making decisions from the youngster, and he just looked like he really had no solid game plan out there and did not know what to do. I would not be surprised if we see another coaching change in his box very soon. Meanwhile, Djokovic, I also think that he has something to do with it too. His incredible athleticism and court coverage was unrivaled, even with that whole knee problem. And then 2, Novak, meanwhile, he won 79% of points at the net himself, which was crucial for him, especially on his serve, where he was pretty methodical throughout the entire match. Rune only had, I believe, 2 or 3 break chances the entire match, which were swiftly dismissed by Novak's winners. This season has not been great for him compared to 2022 and 2023. This year he's lost pretty early in quite a few tournaments, and his ranking has obviously slipped a bit. He's now going into the summer hardcourt swing, at least after the Olympics he will, and the summer hardcourt swing is not where he typically performs his best, but looking on the bright side, it's an opportunity for him to gain some points and hopefully turn things around. Now, Mr. Djokovic, there's really not much more for me to say except for goat tings. The saying, don't poke the bear, perfectly applies to Novak, because he was more motivated to play his best tennis after the pro-Rune crowd did their Rune cheers. Nole let those fans have it, though, in his on-court post-match interview, saying,
"And to all those people that have chosen to disrespect the player, in this case me, have a good night. Good night, good night. Very good night."
The interviewer assured Novak that those fans were indeed just cheering Rune and they were not booing him, but Novak wasn't buying it. And he even directly told the fans, "I've played in much more hostile environments. Trust me, you guys can't touch me." Novak, he's so crazy, but he's funny. He's so funny. It also just shows you why Novak is so great, because I truly do think the Rune cheers were simply Rune cheers and they had no malice intent behind them, but Djokovic twisted it in his mind to think that they were disrespecting him, which caused him to play better. So round of applause to you, Novak, for that crazy mental genius work. Now, Novak is going to be the massive favorite to reach his 10th men's Wimbledon singles final, as none of the guys guys remaining in this bottom part have reached a major final in their careers. I'm actually penciling Novak into the semifinals already because I'm not so sure his quarters opponent, Alex de Minaur, will even take the court. The Aussie earned a 4-set win over young Frenchman Arthur Fils, who, by the way, I'm very proud of for even making it this far, with this being his first Slam second week showing. So props to young Fils. Anyways, de Minaur won with a score of 6-2, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3 to make his third Slam quarterfinal. However, on match point, de Minaur clearly looked in discomfort after sealing victory with a stab volley. Normally, Alex gets pretty hyped, especially after a win of this magnitude, but he remained pretty subdued and just walked to the net, shook Arthur's hand, and then he sat down in the chair for an extended moment of time and kind of shook his head to his team and really looked worried. De Minaur, he played it off in his on-court post-match interview as a minor scare, but I low-key am very concerned for the 9th seed and definitely do not think that he will be 100% for Wednesday's quarterfinal. He needs to be at full fitness if he wants a chance at beating Novak, especially with how well Djokovic is playing right now. So Nole is going to be an overwhelming favorite, in my opinion, to make the Final Four. Taylor Fritz might have the best shot at taking down the Joker in this half of the draw. The 26-year-old American earned perhaps the biggest win of his life today at Wimbledon, coming back from 2-0 down to defeat 4th seed Alexander Zverev 4-6, 6-7, 6-4, 7-6, 6-3 to reach the quarterfinal. I don't like Alexander Zverev at all. I'm not going to cap with y'all, but it wouldn't be fair if I did not say that his knee injury, which he suffered during his third round against Cam Norrie, did not play a significant role in this outcome. The German's movement was clearly compromised, but his excellent serving and superior ground strokes and ball striking carried him to that 2-0 advantage. Giving credit to Taylor, though, it can't be easy to play someone who is so injured yet playing so well. He hung in there and his resilience paid off as he first struck at 4-all in the third set to get that decisive break, thanks to a poor Zverev service game. Set number 4 was very straightforward. Both men held serve and neither man faced a break point. But Fritz lifted his level another notch in that tiebreaker, dominating it 7-3. Zverev said that towards the end of the match, the knee really started to give him fits, and that was clear when he got broken at 2-1 for the last big dagger to the chest. Now, Taylor already had an interesting handshake moment this tournament, but Zverev made it 2 today when he spoke with the American for longer than normal at the net when the two went to go shake hands. When he was asked what the two spoke about in his on-court interview, Taylor kind of played it down and said that he just wished Alex a speedy recovery on his injury, but I knew there was definitely more to the story and that Taylor likely didn't want to spill the real tea because it wasn't a proper setting with this being an on-court interview for everyone, to see and be broadcasted. I knew we'd get the real scoop in the press conference, and I was right. When a reporter asked Zverev about what he said to Taylor at the net, the world number 4 said he had problems with someone from Fritz's box. His team is extremely respectful. I think his coach, his physio, also his second coach, they're extremely respectful, Zverev said. I think there's some other people that maybe are in the box that are not maybe from the tennis world, that are not particularly watching every single match. They were a bit over the top. Apparently, Zverev thought it was disrespectful for that one unnamed person in Fritz's box to be cheering so much when he was clearly not at 100%. I think that's BS, to be honest, because I'm not going to sit back and be all respectful and courteous because some grown-tail man is wearing a musty knee sleeve, especially since Zverev was winning for much of the match. I'm going to cheer for whoever I'm going to cheer for, especially when they're losing. Many people automatically thought that Zverev was talking about Fritz's girlfriend, Morgan Riddle, who is a social media influencer. Riddle took a shady dig towards Zverev herself just as the match got underway, posting on her IG story, "Cheer loud, ladies." Then after Fritz secured the dub, she posted a video with the caption, "When your man wins for the girls." I immediately took that as a dig towards Zverev, who has had multiple women come out and accuse him of domestic abuse. Morgan has actually since deleted both of those Instagram stories, so very interesting. Fritz commented on the ordeal in his press conference, saying he's totally allowed to be annoyed if they were being annoying. That's one of the things I asked him at net. Who was it? Taylor did not reveal who Zverev was talking about, but all we can do is guess, and we really shouldn't 100% assume that it was Morgan. I do think Zverev was being a total brat complaining about it to Taylor, but that's just typical Zverev behavior. He's just salty he once again squandered a big lead from a winning position in a major. As Taylor himself would say, have a nice flight back home. Fritz next faces 25th seed Lorenzo Musetti, who took down the giant Giovanni Impecci Petticard 4-6, 6-3, 6-3, 6-2. The pair played here at Wimbledon 2 years ago, which Fritz took in straight sets. The American leads their head-to-head 2-1, although the Italian won their last meeting, which was this year at the Monte Carlo Masters. This one can go either way, to be honest. This would be Musetti's first slam quarterfinal, while Fritz, he's been here a few times in this position before, so he might have the slight edge in the mental department. I definitely think that Taylor's going to have to return better, though, than he did against Zverev in order to really win this one. I think that Musetti might have the best shot at beating Djokovic in this bottom half, and I say that because he not only beat Novak before, but he pushed Nole to 5 sets in their 2 slam matches prior. Fritz, meanwhile, has never beaten the Joker in their 9 previous matches, but anything is possible. Talking now about the women, there wasn't much drama or many surprises today, which I low-key appreciate after yesterday's mess of whatever that was. Elena Rybakina got the retirement win over Anna Kalinskaya, leading the 17th seed before she called it quits at 6-3 love due to a wrist problem. It's a shame because Anna played well to start the match. She got the first break, but clearly it just was too much for her, and I think she has played a lot of tennis, going deep in Berlin, making the finals, and then, of course, going deep in a slam, which she's not too used to herself. Up next for Rybakina is Elina Svitolina, who got a dominant 6-2, 6-1 win over Xinyu Wang. Svitolina dedicated her victory to the people of Ukraine, wearing a black ribbon to honor the lives lost after Kiev Children's Hospital was struck with missiles amidst the ongoing conflict with Russia. The tragedy clearly got to Svitolina as she kind of broke down in tears during her post-match on-court interview, but it's really, I appreciate it too, because it reminds us that the war is not over by any means, and we should always be mindful of what's going on over there. It's amazing, though, that she was able to come out and play such a brilliant match with all that was going on, and hopefully she can use that as possibly some strength to carry her through the tournament and maybe win her maiden Grand Slam title. Meanwhile, we will have a battle of the Slam champions in the other quarterfinal in the top half as Jelena Ostapenko and Barbora Krejcikova face off for the 8th time. Ostapenko looks in crazy good form after dominating Yulia Putintseva, who beat Iga Swiatek, by a score of 6-2, 6-3. Jelena has hardly broken a sweat this tournament, and it's not just because she hasn't lost more than 5 games in any of her 4 matches played thus far, but the Latvian has run just over 2 miles total in the championships. I mean, why need to move when you can just hit winners all day? There's a funny moment in her match against Putintseva too, as Yulia underarm served, as that flopped obviously in the net, but Jelena just didn't even make a move for it. She was not bothering running for it. She's the definition of work smarter, not harder. Krejcikova, meanwhile, she's into her first Wimbledon quarterfinal after beating an injured Danielle Collins 7-5, 6-3. I'm sad for Danielle because this will be her final Wimbledon, and she said in her previous match after she beat Beatrice Haddad Maia that one of her bucket list items was playing a singles match on center court. I feel some type of way about the tournament not being able to honor that, and you clearly see the girls begging for a center court spot. You can't even give her that? Like, come on, that's not right. But anyways, Krejcikova, props to her. She struggled for much of this season, and she was winless for a few months, so it's good to see her back in form. When she's hitting the ball well, it's really a sight for sore eyes because her ball striking is incredibly clean. Rybakina was touted as the big favorite here to win this title, but to me, Ostapenko has been in slightly better form. I also think Elena needs to beware of Svitolina in this quarterfinal. Yes, she dominated their last meeting at Roland Garros last month, but Svitolina is playing better now than she did then, and she has a big purpose now too. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ukrainian took that one in 3 sets. I give Ostapenko the edge in her match with Krejcikova. She leads the head-to-head between those two 5-2, and I think she simply looks in better form. But I do think that Krejcikova can throw in a little bit of variety too to trouble the Latvian with those tough slices. Looking forward to the quarterfinal matches on tap for tomorrow. Jannik Sinner and Daniil Medvedev will open proceedings on center court, followed by Jasmine Paolini and Emma Navarro. Navarro will be the slight favorite there to me, despite Paolini being the more experienced of the two, as the American holds a 3-0 head-to-head advantage over Jasmine. On court 1, Lulu Sun and Donna Vekic will face off, followed by Carlos Alcaraz, who plays Tommy Paul, which I believe will be the match of the day. That's all for this Wimbledon recap, and let me know your thoughts about Novak Djokovic, whether you do believe he'll be the massive favorite to make the finals, and also, do you feel like he was doing way too much with that whole fan interaction at the end of the match? Also, let me know your thoughts on the Fritz Zverev thing and whether you think that Zverev was even right to complain about Taylor's team member. Make sure y'all again subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post my Day 9 Wimbledon recap. Thank y'all again for watching and for your support, and I'll see y'all next time here on Christian's Court.